What's up everyone, I'm Dan and thanks to Raptor Claw for the review code for First Squadron Phoenix on the Nintendo Switch systems. This review was done using the Nintendo Switch 2. First Squadron Phoenix is a love letter to the classic on-rail shooters, and it wears that inspiration proudly from the very start. Anyone who spent years waiting for a proper revival of the genre will immediately recognize the Star Fox DNA coursing through its veins, from barrel rolls and laser barrages to dramatic boss encounters and branching upgrade paths. You play as Robin, a new recruit whose career gets off to an action-packed start. The opening mission ends with your entire squadron being shot down, leaving you reassigned to the renegade First Squadron for virtual reality training and eventually revenge. The campaign is made up of 8 lengthy stages, and most of them will take multiple attempts to complete. These stages are split between VR training missions and real-world story missions, a structure that smartly underpins both the narrative and the gameplay loop. Training missions are where the roguelite elements shine brightest. Even when you fail, you still earn experience that can be spent upgrading your ship's stats, weapons and abilities. This creates a satisfying sense of progression and removes the sting from repeated attempts. Story missions, however, are far less forgiving. Get shot down here and you earn nothing. There are no checkpoints and failure feels meaningful. This design choice dramatically raises the tension during story runs and reinforces the idea that VR training is preparation while the real missions are where everything is on the line. The game can feel punishing at first, especially if you're coming into this expecting a breezy arcade adventure. Enemy waves are aggressive, bosses hit hard, and your early ship is fragile. Thankfully, the difficulty curve feels challenging rather than unfair. As you improve your stats and unlock better tools, the balance evens out nicely. There's real satisfaction in learning how to chain charge shots, special weapons and evasive maneuvers into a near perfect flow once those patterns become familiar. And once everything clicks into place, the game really does become fun. Level design ranges from merely solid to genuinely excellent. Early stages focus more on enemy management than environmental hazards, but as the campaign progresses, the levels become more intricate, meaning you'll have to carefully avoid traps and hazards in your way whilst also shooting down the bad guys. You'll unlock power beams, multi-missile barrages, and even a devastating nuke strike. Combined with ship upgrades and skill trees, this allows you to shape your own playstyle, whether you prefer raw firepower, survivability, or aggressive risk-reward builds. Training with the First Squadron Elite pilots also add a surprising amount of personality, with story-rich conversations that flesh out both your allies and Robin's past. While there isn't a dedicated Nintendo Switch 2 version, the included performance toggle is a welcome addition. Unlocking the frame rate allows the game to hit a smooth 60 frames per second, which is a noticeable improvement over the 30 FPS default on older hardware. Resolution is clearly constrained, but the visuals still look sharp and colourful, and the overall presentation holds up well. Controls are simple and accessible, especially when using the Switch 2 Pro controller with its programmable back buttons. That said, the lack of full button remapping feels like a missed opportunity. Subtle movements can feel a little clunky even after adjusting sensitivity. Special weapons I also sometimes found to be a bit hit and miss, both literally and figuratively. The nuke strike, for example, I found tended to veer off course and wasn't always useful as I wanted it to be. Still, this is more of my issue and others may not have this problem. Despite a bit of repetition and a lack of polish, you'd find in a Star Fox title, First Squadron Phoenix is a lot of fun and hard to put down once you start playing. It's charming, challenging and packed with moments that remind you while on the rail shooters still matter. If you've been missing some Star Fox fun, then I would definitely recommend First Squadron Phoenix on the Nintendo Switch systems. First Squadron Phoenix is out now on the Nintendo eShop, priced at $17.99 in the UK and $19.99 in the US. Big thanks once again to Raptor Claw Games for the review code. Thanks to you all for watching, and until next time.